We are back with some more Panthers franchise, and we are in the free agency recap stage. Free agency is officially done. We didn't have much money to spend, as you guys know already. We had about 18 million, I believe, is what it was to spend. Next offseason, I think, is going to be the one where we actually will have a decent amount of money to spend to maybe go after some top names on the market. Luckily, there wasn't really that many big players this year that were there. There was a lot of running backs that were there, a lot of old receivers that are aging out, so a couple quarterbacks. There was a lot of talent in positions we didn't need, so it was a good year to really not have that much money to spend. But we did go out and make some signings. As you see, we only have $3 million left. I believe we signed 5 players. Nothing, anything crazy. We did try to go after a decent defensive line or right end to help bolster our defensive line, and did not get him. Lost out in that bid. It was an 80 overall. I don't even remember who it was, his name. I know he's on the Dolphins in real life. If any of you watch Hard Knocks, it's the dude that's like best friends with Christian Wilkins. I had the big dude on the defensive line for the Dolphins. I can't remember his name, but I did try to go after him. He's an 80 overall right now in our league. And I was like, it was a 1-year deal. It was like $10 million that I gave him, and he went to the Jets instead. So we didn't get that guy. Instead, went elsewhere with our money. So instead of going, or before we go into the whole league and show you guys where the big names went, we'll start off with us. And the first signing we did was we needed a punter. We needed a punter. We don't have one anymore with Johnny Hecker gone, and we went out and got Ryan Wright. He's 25. It's a 1-year deal. 97 kick power. That is what I saw, and that is what I liked. Not too worried about accuracy, really, as a punter or kicker. As long as you get good accuracy, I mean, it does help. No, I won't lie, it does help. But the kick power stat is much more important, in my opinion. So I saw that 97 kick power. I saw he's pretty young and only wanted a 1-year deal. I was like, that's slam dunk. We're signing him. Got him for 1.7 in the salary and 700K bonus. Pretty cheap for the 1-year deal there. Next is that we signed was a fullback. We needed a fullback. Got Ben Mason here to bring in, kind of a younger guy as well. 1.6 million in salary, 900K bonus. Another 1-year deal as well for him. Maybe he'll be a guy for us long term. Not sure. Nothing too special about this guy. He's just a fullback. So we needed a fullback. Brought him in. Next signing was Ian Thomas. Obviously, he was here last season. His interest was so high, and I was like, dude, we only got 1 tight end on the roster. I still need a 3rd tight end. Thinking about possibly drafting a tight end like in the middle round somewhere. So, that'll be nice for another tight end, but we still need another one on the roster. We got to rock 3, and Ian wasn't that bad as a blocking tight end, just as a 3rd guy. So he wasn't too shabby. Went out and got him 3 years, 6.3 salary, 9.9 bonus. Obviously, that's all in spread out over 3 years. So. Pretty easy, cheap deal for him. We already know about Ian. He got a touchdown in the playoffs for us, so he's solid. He knows the system. So brought a guy back. I won't lie, I almost brought back Chuba. He was sitting there. I don't even think he got signed. So rest in peace, Chuba. No one signed him. The next player I went after was an interesting one here. Demarius Ellerby. No idea who this dude is. I don't know if he's a randomly generated player, if this is just a real life player that doesn't have a face scan. But I saw this player, and I know coming up we are going to be needing some new corners. Obviously, J.C. Horn is our number 1. Our number 2 is Dante Jackson, and Stephon Gilmore is in the slot. But after this 3rd season is over, I believe Dante Jackson and Gilmore's contracts are up, and I probably will let both of them go because Gilmore especially, he'll be very old. He'll probably be under an 80 overall. And then Dante Jackson will be 30. So I might re-sign Dante. I don't if he isn't asking for crazy money. But if he wants a long-term deal, I don't think that's the direction I want to go with Dante because he's going to be pretty old by then. So we might be in need of some cornerback help in the future. And this could be a starter for us in the slot. He's 23, 75 overall. I thought this was a huge slam dunk. I was like, I'm okay. I gave him a 4-year contract, so he's locked up for quite some time. And like I said, if Dante and Gilmore leave, we are going to need help at cornerback. And he doesn't look that bad. I don't really know where this dude came from. His speed's a little low, so maybe that's why people aren't really feeling him. But He's got the man coverage, which is what we like. Play recognition, press, not too bad. His jumping's okay. He's pretty tall. He's what, he's 5'10". Never mind. He's not pretty tall. He's not pretty tall at all. But he's got that slot archetype getting upgraded. So, like I said, if we let both those guys walk, he could be our new slot guy, and maybe in next year's draft, in the first round, we pick our new outside guy to replace Dante. So I thought Mr. Ellerby here would be in just depth in case we get injuries. I thought that was a huge pickup, just a young guy here that we can develop. And the last signing we got was Kevontae Turpin. I know a lot of people in Madden like to use like their best player, like the Dolphins use in Madden. The Dolphins users has Tyreek Hill at punt return, or he had, people use star players at kick return. I just hate doing that. And in case they get hurt, you're down your star player. That's just an unnecessary hit. They get tired if they're running a lot. And it's just not really realistic, in my opinion. No star players are out there on kick returns and punt returns unless it's like a very important punt return. Maybe they'll plop, someone out there to return it, for an important play. And Calvin Austin is now a very important player for us. He led us in, I believe, receptions, receiving yards, and touchdowns, I think. So he was up there with Mingo. Definitely yards. I'm not sure about receptions and touchdowns. So Calvin Austin is a very, very important player. He had a couple of good kick returns for us last season, but I don't want him as our special teamer anymore because I don't want him to get hurt. He's a tiny guy. He takes one hit, he can get hurt. So I wanted to go a different direction, and so that's where we went with Mr. Turpin here. Obviously, you guys know this guy in the Cowboys in real life. Tons of speed, very, very dangerous. That's all he's here for. He's on a 2-year deal. He's going to be our kick returner and punt returner for the next 2 seasons, and that's that. So that's what we went after. Like I said, we didn't have much money, and the positions that we needed didn't really have the best talent there. So not the craziest offseason. Like I said, next offseason I think will be the one where we'll actually have a decent bit of money because I'm probably going to let a lot of people go next offseason. Matter of fact, I'll show you guys that before we get into some re-signs around the league here. There's a lot of people up for contract this next season. Like JC, I'm going to re-sign. That's an obvious one there. Gilmore's going to leave. Even Taylor, I really don't know if I want to resign him just because he'll be 32. His regression might be really bad. Depends how much money he's asking for. So even that one's up in the air. We got Von Bell. He'll be leaving. That money's off the books. Shy, he'll be leaving. He's got a decent contract as well. That'll be off the books. Who else we got here? I know we got more. We have to re-sign Calvin. That's an important one. But like even our center, he will probably be going. We got Hayden Hurst off the books. He's got a lot of money. He'll be going. Like there's a lot of older guys that actually have like a decent bit of salary taken up for us that will be gone. So a lot of them, Dante's I think 2 years, right? I might have been wrong. Where's Dante Jackson at? So yeah, he's 2 years from now. So even then, if we let Gilmore go, I don't have to draft a corner necessarily next season. I can just plop the Ellerby guy there and try him out in the slot. So there's a bunch of ways we can go about it. We'll see. But I think that's the best option. Next offseason, we can really splash. A lot of that money is going to be off the books, and we can really try to get some big-time talent for agency, which we have not been able to do these first 2 seasons. I mean, we've brought in some talent in free agency, but we haven't had that much money each season. This season, we had about 18, and then I think the season before, like 22 or something. We really haven't had that much money to work with to go after some big names. But before we end the video here, I'm going to show you, just scroll through just the top 100 signings and just show you guys where they went. So Hassan Reddick went to the Chicago Bears. Justin Simmons went to the Saints, so we're going to be playing that man for 4 years. That's a lot to lock into a 31-year-old safety. DeAndre Hopkins also went to Chicago. Dalvin Cook to the Packers. The Honey Badger to the Texans. Like a lot of safeties, a lot of receivers, and a lot of running backs, which is positions we do not need. Our safeties are locked up. I like all my receivers, and my running backs are fine. Miles Sanders, I know he had a terrible playoff run, but he's fine. So, like, there was just no need for me to go after any of these guys. Shaq went to the Seahawks. Mike Williams to the Patriots. Dre Greenlaw, still a free agent. Tua Tagovailoa, still a free agent. That's kind of a crazy one. I'm sure someone will pick him up after the draft. Tyler Lockett, Joe Mixon, all free agents. Then we got Jared Goff to the Rams. Zadarius Smith to the Jags. Quandre Diggs to the Jags. Kenny Moore, still a free agent. Josh Sweat to the Giants. Deion Dawkins to the Falcons. Josh Sweat I was interested in for a little bit, but didn't have the money really to compete. And his interest was pretty high, to be honest, but I just didn't have the money to put a good offer out there. Ridley's a free agent. We got David Andrews to the Patriots. Derek Forrest. I'm pretty sure it's Derek. Strong safety. Went to the Colts. DJ Reed still there. Jake Elliott to the Jets. See, like, it's a lot of old people that no one wants. Keenan Allen's still floating around out there. You got Juszczyk to the Texans. Kadarius Toney to the Chargers. Taylor Decker to the Falcons. Austin to the Steelers. That's our guy right there. He left us, went over to the AFC. Eckler's still here as well. We got Byron Murphy to the Jets. Carlton Davis to the Lions. Jabril, I love this guy in Madden. Love him. But we don't need safeties. We just don't. Justin Reed. We got Levante David back to the Bucks. We got Leighton Vander Esch still a free agent. Rondale Moore to the Rams. Zach Sealer. This is the guy. This is the guy I tried to get. So he offered a one-year deal with salary 5.1, bonus 5.4. I offered 1-year deal, salary 5, and bonus 5.5. So pretty much the same exact offer. He instead went to the Jets. So unfortunate there. I was trying to give us some defensive line help. Didn't quite work out. This was a nice little signing. I would have went after him pretty heavily. He's still pretty young at 26, star dev, 82 overall, but the interest meter was so bad. I was not going to get that guy. Patrick Ricard, Lael Collins. This is a cheeky little one here for, if I needed a rental, but I don't. Kaimi Fairbairn to Philly, Jordan Poyer to the Jets. The Jets got a lot of players, man. I mean, Alvin Kamara to the Seahawks. Like, the Seahawks need more talent, man. Come on. BJ Hill to the Raiders. Eddie Jackson to the Patriots. And that's pretty much it for the big names. I don't think I talked about it in the final re-sign stage, so I'm going to go over some people that retired. Maybe I did talk about it, and if I did, we're going over again. I apologize. Our only person that retired on our team was Andy Dalton, so, got to find a new quarterback there. We're keeping the same playbooks, by the way, so I'm rocking the same playbooks. We're keeping the the Panthers defense and the Rams offense. I think we did pretty good with that, to be honest, this last season, so we're going to keep it. Some notable retires. Patrick Peterson is gone. Matthew Stafford is gone. Riley Reif, gone. Julio Jones, gone. Aaron Rodgers, Graham Gano, Bobby Wagner. Look at the Eagles. Lane Johnson, he lost 3 players. Dang. Dolphins lost 2 linemen, too. That sucks for them. The Chiefs lost Calais Campbell. Bears lost Linval Joseph, Michael Thomas, and Nick Foles. I thought that said Chuba Hubbard. I was like, Chuba already. Justin Houston, nothing too crazy down here. These are all people that just weren't even on teams. But that is that for the free agency recap. Obviously, next episode is the draft. There's some good players. Our trade with the Bears has went through. So tons of picks now available for us. We got the 11th overall pick, the 27th overall pick, the 11th pick in the second round, a 3rd round pick, 4th round pick, 6th, and a 7th round pick. Before we wrap this up, though, I am going to go over a ton more trades have been made, so we're just going to breeze through those. I thought I'd put that at the end of the video because they're not too important. They're all other team trades that don't really affect us too much, so I think we left off, to be honest. I probably should have made a bookmark, but I did not, so we're just going to, I think it's here. If I said these, I apologize, but the Seahawks, some have been saying that this is the most unrealistic trade impossible, and it was approved. It happened. And the Seahawks gave away cornerback James Pierre, gave away their rookie quarterback, Isaac, who not only won Rookie of the Year, he won MVP, he led the Seahawks to an undefeated season, and won the Super Bowl. The Seahawks traded him away. Makes no sense, but here we are in life. To the Giants, and the Giants gave him a 1st-round pick this year, a 1st-round pick next year, defensive tackle Dexter Lawrence, and cornerback Deonte Banks. So I don't get it. I don't know why he would want to trade away his rookie quarterback, but that's, that is that, I guess. The Seahawks also sent their first-round pick for the Bills defensive tackle Ed Oliver, so he's just getting all kinds of defensive players. The Packers sent a second-round pick in 2025 for cornerback Tre'Davious White. That's a steal. Early second for Tre'Davious White. That's a really good offer there. I would be jumping all over that. The Jets trade quarterback Sean Kirkland to the Cardinals for fullback Jeremy Carr. What a trade. A backup quarterback for a fullback. What a trade. What a trade there. The Jags sent a second-round pick this year for a third-round pick this year and middle linebacker Matt Milano. Sounds like a salary dump if you ask me. Texans trade an early second this year for defensive tackle Vita Vea. The Ravens send Mark Andrews and running back Keaton Mitchell. Now, this one's scary. To the Saints. We have to deal with Marky Mark at tight end. And the Saints let go of Alvin Kamara and get Keaton Mitchell, get a ton of speed at running back, and get Mark Andrews. It's not the best. It's a little scary, but the Saints do give up a first-round pick this year, a fourth-round pick this year, and cornerback Max Williams. The Lions send a fifth-round pick this year and free safety Kirby Joseph over to the Chiefs for a second-round pick. The 49ers send a second and third-round pick to the Lions for a first, fifth, and a fourth next year. Interesting trade there. The Cardinals traded away free safety Jalen Thompson to the Bucks for a second-round pick next year. The Colts traded a third-round pick next year for a fourth and a sixth this year and a fourth next year. So trading next year's picks for this year picks is what it looks like. The Colts also dealt Derrick Henry to the Bucks, so now we have to deal with Derrick frickin' Henry. The Bucks sent the Colts a third-round pick, a seventh-round pick, and a fifth-round pick. The Seahawks also made another trade. He traded away Kenneth Walker to the Colts, and the Colts gave the Seahawks a third-round pick and left outside linebacker Kwity Paye and middle linebacker Blake Cashman. So the Seahawks are just, he goes undefeated, wins the Super Bowl, and then he trades his whole offense. Make it make sense. I don't know. He let go of Tyler. He let go of his quarterback. He traded Kenneth Walker. I don't know. Make it make sense. Make it make sense, please, because it doesn't make sense to me. The Bears traded left end George Kalafdis. I never can pronounce that man's name. To the Titans, and the Titans gave up a first, third, and a fifth this year and a second next year. The Jags traded running back Travis Etienne to the Rams for two third-round picks this year. So I believe that is all the trades, and we are finally caught up to date. That is it for free agency recap. I'll see you guys in the draft video. Let me know how we did in the free agency process. You know, we didn't have much money. We just had to kind of piddle with some little offers, and I think we at least got some decent talent and got some positions we need. Hopefully in the draft we can hit on some stars and run it back next season, have a good season. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe, like, and comment, and I'll see you in the next one.